What's up, y'all? It's KT, the motherfucking Las Vegas Shark. We doing our thing again tonight. Now, I know I promised y'all the story, the lick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna drop that probably a little bit later on this week, cause that one go a little bit deeper. You know, it's got a message behind it, and I feel like with the weight. Part of what I'm doing with this shit, y'all gonna enjoy it. So y'all stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? But tonight's segment, I want to dedicate to my followers. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube, I had somebody get at me today, and it's a great fucking idea, man. So with this shit being said, we're gonna get into it. So let's get this bitch busting. Now, today's topic is gonna be about gang banging back in the 90s. Now, for all y'all Las Vegas natives and shit, all y'all know how the fuck shit was out here back then. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take it back to a time where them OGs, them crazy niggas that used to walk around with the jerry curls, and niggas that used to walk around with their hats on, wouldn't pull it down all the way in the front at all. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into the dress code. We're going to get into all that shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? I feel y'all deserve that. That was a great idea. And as a matter of fact, that was what paved the way for niggas like me to be able to do it. That's the time that I was coming up. That was the time that I was really watching my big homies. That was the time that I was watching my daddy. That was the time where we had niggas that was really stand up and really solid. So, for all y'all babies that's out there that want to gangbang and do all of that shit, I just want it to be clear. It ain't no future in this shit. And part of why it ain't even worth doing no more is because all of them figures that was really out there pressing shit, niggas that was really out there on the front line, niggas that would really lay down some shit, if it came to it, like my big homie Trail Stewart was saying, they all gone. And for the ones that ain't, they damn sure don't want to be associated with none of the bullshit. So that's one of the number one reasons why y'all want to stay away from that life. You know what I'm saying? Not just that, because you got a motherfucking future. Children of tomorrow, you know? And me personally, I done took this gangbang shit my whole fucking life to different levels and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to a point in life where I started realizing that this shit is nothing but death. The shit that we going out here doing is leading nothing but destruction to our black community. So I took the family road. And for 15 years, you know what I'm saying, I raised a family. I was a family man. A husband, a father, all that shit. And due to my lifestyle, you know, I went through some changes with that shit. But it made me the nigga that I am today, and I'm still thankful for everything that I had to go through in life that was rough, that was hard. But that's part of my story, and it's part of the consequences with living this gang life. But now, back in the 90s, shit was way more turned up. You had niggas, like I said, riding around broad daylight. Mac 11s in the motherfucking stash spot. AK sitting in the motherfucking passenger seat like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of gangster niggas that grew up out here and that really press shit for their neighborhoods, that was their bitch. I'm not promoting gun violence, but at the same time, I'm breaking this shit down for y'all to let y'all know from a Vegas nigga perspective of how it used to be out here. Now, how many of y'all remember the Martin Luther King parades? For anybody that's from Vegas, if you a Vegas native, you know that them parades was everything, but you know that's when niggas was going to get it the fuck in. So, we gonna take it back to them times, you know what I'm saying? You had niggas from my land, the Gerson, you had niggas from the coast, you had niggas from Donna Street, you had niggas from Weaver Street, you had niggas from all over, you had niggas from Paru, all of these neighborhoods used to meet up at this one function. You know what I'm saying? And now it'd be the motherfucking time to get it in. So you might have the Gersons getting it in with the Coast. You might have the Donnas getting it in with the Playboys. That's just how it went out here back then. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was fisticuffs or gunplay, niggas really used to press that shit. How many of y'all remember them block parties out there on Weaver Street? Shout out to them Weaver Street Bloods. How many of y'all remember that shit? The Lowrider Club, Dark Side used to come, block out the whole neighborhood. We used to have block parties over there in that motherfucker, man. Real functions. Niggas from all over the city used to come gather for them motherfuckers. It was always love, it was always peace. It wasn't until shit, probably the early 2000s where niggas started turning it up and turning it into something else, you know? And I want to say rest in peace to all of the people that lost their life at the very last function that we had, you know what I'm saying? My heart go out to them, you know? And that's part of why I'm pushing this peace shit, to let people know that this motherfuckers out here dying, innocent people, for a cause that's a no-win situation. We ain't gonna win. Half of these blocks, if you from the bricks, all of that shit tore down. How the fuck, at the end of the day, you gonna sit back and really try to keep a feud going from decades ago, when half of the people that are responsible for those beefs and how they got started, like I said, they ain't here no more, they gone, they dead. But in the 90s, like I said, we had them old school niggas that had the jerry curls, the gold teeth in the front. Niggas used to actually wear they little dickies, whether it be your khaki suit. Niggas used to really walk out the house G'd up. That's back when flags and all of that shit was still popular. And we was flagging hard as kids, trying to be everything that we seen our big homies be, plus. Back then, you didn't have as many jurisdictions as far as jails go out here. You didn't have all of the cameras and shit on each street corner shining down on you, so it was easier for niggas to get their shit knocked back then. Not glorifying it, but I'm just being real. You might see your opposition at the light on Martin Luther King and Kerry, and nigga, it's go time, broad daylight. Niggas is getting it the fuck in traffic, running niggas off the road. Yeah, that's how niggas used to play out here back in the day, man. Motherfuckers forgot. My city is one of the cities that was built by gangsters. So at the end of the day, you gonna have a lot of motherfucking gangsters that came up from out here. That's just how it was back then. Shit, all y'all know, the cars that we used to idolize so much, the box caprices and all of that shit, niggas riding around in low riders. That's back when Dayton's and all of that shit was still popular, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize, and it's more to it than just what Hollywood portrayed. But I would have to say, Vegas in the 90s reminded you of the movie Menace to Society, for real, for real. The dress code, the way niggas got out. That movie was like the motherfucking soundtrack to life for niggas out here. So, for everybody that's from Cali that may not understand our codes out here, it ain't too much different from y'all's. And as a matter of fact, that's why we got a lot more California natives out here right now, pressing the line from whatever neighborhood they from, but they doing it with respect, knowing that our hoods been out here for generations. So it ain't no pushing us out this shit. It's a lot of things that used to go on back then that made sense. That's back when it was still a little bit more structure to this shit. When niggas knew what the fuck was going on with their homies. Nowadays, you got these babies out here going out doing shit, and half of the time, the niggas that's got a name, the niggas that got to account for that shit from their hood or from their land. They don't even know what the fuck going on. You know, it's a lot of shit out here that the youth is doing that's from my neighborhood that I don't even understand now. Cause back then, when all of us linked, nigga, we linked. When it was a situation, everybody knew about that shit. And if you didn't, you was an off-brand nigga. So with this shit being said, I need all y'all shorties to realize something. Gang banging ain't no shit that you can put on a resume when it's time to go for that corporate job. Motherfuckers is not gonna honor that. Not one bit. So with this shit being said, I need all y'all to keep in mind the decisions of today will affect tomorrow. You may not die in this shit. You may not go to prison. You may just get the long time suffering. And I can't stretch this shit enough, you know what I'm saying? Because it's things that I did in my past. When my mama, my grandma, everybody that was around me tried to wake me the fuck up before it was time. And unfortunately, I ain't listening. Because I was hard-headed. So the goal of doing these motherfucking videos is to reach y'all hard-headed ones. The ones that at the end of the day can't nobody tell shit. Because I done been that young man before. I done been that young man out there on the front line having to make split-second decisions. And when it comes down to making them decisions, sometimes that shit could either lead you to your grave or the penitentiary. So, for all y'all babies that's out there that's still on that gangbang tip, take it from your big homie KT. It ain't what you want. So, this shit being said, I'm not gonna make this video too long. And you know what? I might do a second version or part 2 to this shit to let y'all know a little bit about the history of the 90s. Because right now, you know, I'm reaching topics that I feel that's important to share with these babies. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give you stories from back in the day, but I'm going to also bring it up to speed to today's time so that these shorties can understand. And they can get the self-worth in them to want to live. Because nowadays, everybody want to drill shit. Everybody want to be out there playing with guns and shit like that. And see them. I ain't gonna lie. A nigga with a gun that ain't putting it to use, we don't need you in the field. And that's kind of, I'm gonna go deeper than that with y'all. My own son, he 14 years old. All his life, he done seen daddy be on the front line. All his life, back when he was growing up in the coast and shit, and I had my apartment in the bricks, this nigga used to watch us from the backyard, out there on the front line, doing whatever the fuck we had to do. So, with this shit being said, he automatically feel like he got rights to be from my hood. And I had to explain something, son. You know what? The original Herbert Gerson was tore down in the 90s. My neighborhood, the last part of it, 2007, 2008, before you was even born, before you was even thought of, shorty. So with this shit being said, for one, I'm your father, and I love you. Part of why I'm trying to wake up these shorties is so they don't have the perspective that you do right now. Because you want the gangbang and shit and you don't even know why. Like I told you, it's not going to get you no money. You're going to still have to find another means to do that. And you still going to have to live with the everyday struggle of wondering whether you turn around and the nigga behind you was the last nigga you gonna see. When it comes to this hustling shit, you gotta worry about bitch ass niggas robbing you. I done been victim of all that shit. First time, only time, nigga, my daughter was in my arms. And the bitch ass niggas that was there to do it, they got me in a position where I'm holding a baby and holding my gat in the motherfucking other hand, waiting for a nigga to jump stupid. And see, what let me know these niggas was there to do ill, my daughter was 2 months at the time. These motherfuckers came to buy some shit. So, I'm finna serve them. I'm finna do what I do. One nigga is acting a little bit pushy, you know what I'm saying? Giving a nigga bad vibes off top. My daughter took one look at that nigga and immediately started to scream, y'all. It's fucked up when an infant baby can sense that there's danger around. And the fatherly instinct in me, shit. Y'all already knew what time it was for me. I made them niggas leave. Due to the fact that I had my daughter, wasn't nobody getting served that day anyway. Not with her in my presence. See, there's rules to this shit. And that's part of why I make these videos. Some of the stupid decisions that we make as youngsters, where you trying to do you, but you got a family around you and they're innocent. You have to be the bigger person and think when it's time to make that dollar, if you got to do it from where you at, or whether it's time to be wise and say all money ain't good money. It's very stressful. And in some situations, you'll lose your life before you even got a chance to realize that you was in the wrong. So please, shorties, don't be a victim of that. Because it don't matter what fucking generation you from. If you dealing with some shit that's out your league and that ain't meant for you, you either gonna see that box or motherfucking 6 feet under. And that's just real. That came from your big homie KT. Much love. I love y'all. I'm out this bitch. I want y'all to be looking for my video, The Lick. That might drop sometime tomorrow or maybe the next day. But these videos is coming consistent. And that's how we rocking, gang. I love y'all. I'm the fuck out. West, y'all.